The following text is an excerpt from an article in the Herald newspaper from the 3rd of January 2025, written by Mark McGeoghegan and entitled, Support for the Union Slips as Backing for Independence Edges Upwards.
After years of SNP decline following Nicola Sturgeon's resignation, the escalation of Operation Branchform, and a disastrous stint as First Minister for Humza Yousaf, it feels profoundly weird to be starting 2025 thinking things are looking up for Scotland's party of government. Likewise, that Labour's prospects of taking power at Holyrood look rockier after dealing the SNP a hammering in the July general election than they did beforehand. Yet that's precisely where we seem to be. We needn't retread the story of Labour's first 6 months in power at Westminster. It suffices to say that the highs of victory rapidly gave way to crashing approval ratings and, north of the border at least, a collapse in support ahead of the Holyrood elections in 2026. If support for independence grows over this parliamentary term as we get further and further from the 2014 referendum, demands for a second vote may become irresistible, and the evidence of the past decade of growing secessionist support suggests that economic arguments may not be enough to swing voters back to supporting the Union. Politics is not, after all, just about rational calculation, and the fight over the Constitution is as much about winning hearts as winning minds. All of this is without mentioning the demographic trends. There is significant contention over whether younger voters will or will not become less pro-independence as they age, but my forthcoming analysis of support for secession over time for the Centre on Constitutional Change suggests that there is no evidence of such a shift in the decade since the referendum. A week is a long time in politics, never mind a year or a parliamentary term. Who knows what 2025 will bring? But as it begins, Scotland's place in the Union seems a little more precarious than it did a year ago. Unionists cannot sit back and hope that institutional roadblocks and the same arguments that saw their lead cut in half in 2014, and by more than half since then, will secure the Union's future. They need to find new arguments to win over younger Scots, rebuild a sense of British identity in Scotland, and breathe new relevance into the Union.